Hi guys, this is Klazart, bringing you another audio commentary, and this time I'm commentating on the OSL round of 8, I believe, matchup. This is the OSL quarterfinals. We finally arrived at this stage. So much good StarCraft going on right now, so much high-level play. But before I jump, this is going to be between Leta and Type B. But before I jump right into this commentary, I want you guys all right now to pause your videos, to check out my subscriptions and go to John747, who is on my subscriptions, and please give him a thank you, because without him providing these VODs, we would not be able to do these commentaries. So please take the few minutes it takes you guys to go and give a thank you to John747 on his YouTube page, also known as Bazy, for all the hard work he does in getting these VODs to us. Without him, the everything that Cholera, Diggity, Moletrap, myself, Rise, everything we do would not be possible. So just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a shout out on that regard. So we've got Leta at the 12 o'clock position, obviously the Terran player, and we've got Type B, his teammate from Team Height, at the 6 o'clock position, and Type B sending out a drone scout. And I think that's always a good move, especially against a Terran player, especially on a map like this, because as a Zerg player, and we saw actually Jaedong do this versus Canada as well, but unfortunately he wasn't able to send the scout off in the correct direction. And it looks like Leta's doing the exact same thing, the exact same build that we saw Canada do. He's putting that 8 racks down, it looks like, outside of his choke, outside of his natural expo, but unfortunately for Leta, that's been scouted straight away. And what this means for Type B is that he's going to be able to put down a 12 pool rather than going for a 12 hatch. Now, I'm not sure if that's actually a 12 pool or an over pool. It might actually be a 12 pool. It feels to me like a 12 pool build. So it looks like, and that's going to allow him, and he's lost the drone, unfortunately. Good micro by Leta, bringing a couple SCVs out to deal with it. But Type B is going to be in a much better position to defend this sort of push, and then still get a good economic advantage and be in a strong position to be able to take on his teammate. These guys both have impressive records in Terran versus Zerg. Leta with a 65%, I think, win rate roughly against Zerg before this matchup, and Type B with a similar win rate against Terrans. However, it has to be said that Type B, a lot of his wins haven't come against the strongest Terran players. Something that I was discussing with Moletrap earlier. So it is deceptive, because the statistics can be deceptive, because some of those wins are against players who are in the prelims, who are in the offline prelims, who never even make it into the online tournament, into the big tournament that's shown on television. Looks like Leta sending out an SCV as well as a couple of Marines now. Type B taking his natural expo. Leta sending a couple more SCVs. Looks like he's sending a couple of SCVs out past the rear. It'll be interesting to see what Leta's going to try and do here. This is not something that you would see usually, but obviously this might be an adaptation that he's come up with. Looks like he's trying to sneak an SCV around the back. I'm not sure what he's going to try and do here, whether he's going to try and build a building there, but there is an overlord position there that's going to see that SCV. Meanwhile, firstlings out for Type B, and Leta has got that SCV position there, but unfortunately for him, this gambit is not going to pay off, because Type B cleverly sending an overlord in there, and he's going to spot that SCV from Leta. And unfortunately for Type B, it would have been better off if he hadn't spotted that SCV. If that had been, and it looks like Leta is building a factory. Type B's got that overlord in there, so he's going to see exactly what Leta is up to. He's seen that SCV, so he should know, if we look at his first-person view mode, whether or not he's seen Leta's attempt at putting that factory down. So Type B should have a decent warning of what Leta's trying to do with that hidden factory. That overlord is now moving back. I guess he was worried about being taken out. We're just looking at his first-person view mode, and it looks like he has a decent idea. Meanwhile, Type B just microing against that SCV that isn't in his base. So Leta not able to put that pressure on, because Type B was able to get that scout off against him, and therefore pretty much nullify his build. And just looking at his overlord there, it doesn't look like he's seen the factory, but he saw the SCV there, so he has to have an idea of what his opponent is doing. The key for Leta, obviously, is going to try and sneak a vulture through there with his SCV into the rear, and try and harass the Zerg economy that way. I think that's the idea behind that choice of strategy by Leta. If he can sneak a vulture through those minerals, he can get in behind the Zerg's lines and do significant damage to the Zerg economy. Leta now floating off his racks. He's built out a few Marines, but not able to put the pressure. But the very fact that he went for that build forces his opponent to go for a 12 pool rather than, say, a 12 hatch. Hydralisk Den as well, now down for Type B. So obviously he's anticipating those vultures. Meanwhile, second rack's going up for Leta. So Leta now putting up his second rack. So Leta definitely going for, we're not seeing any attempt at an expansion from Leta. He's definitely going for a one-base build. And now that vulture is going to be sneaked through those minerals. And it's just a question of how long Leta takes to get this. If he gets it through the first time, that's going to give his opponent less time to react. But unfortunately, the longer it takes him, the more attempts it takes, the more time your opponent has to react. And unfortunately for Leta, that's not going to work out. Now a couple of Hydralisks are out. Now the vulture is through, but Type B has seen it, and he's got 3 Hydralisks waiting at that ramp. That's why he put that Hydralisk Den down, because he knew this was coming. And that's it. That's going to nullify nullify this pretty much. The Vulture is going to die, and Leta, unfortunately, all the resources that he's put into getting that factory in that position are kind of going to be a little bit wasted. Now he's going to have to lift up that factory and float it away. Of course, the advantage is that he will be able to now put a starport down, I guess, because he's got that factory, but of course he's going to have to float away because he can't really build anything from that factory there. So that factory is going to be defunct for a little bit of time, and you can see he's now put the second racks down. Meanwhile, Type B, with a lot of higher lists coming out, I'm sure Leta does have that second racks at his base, so he should be comfortable in terms of defending with it. He doesn't have any medics though, so actually this could do a little bit of damage to Leta and to his economy. I'm not sure if he's got his academy down yet. He should really have his economy down now. Type B coming in with Zerg and higher lists, trying to push in through that front door. One of the SCV gets taken out blocking, but the Marines are coming on fire from the higher list. One Marine is down. I don't think Type B is going to do it. The second Marine, the medics pop out just in time to save Leta. The medics arrive just in time, so Type B is going to be forced to pull back there with his 4 Hydralisks that survived. Meanwhile, that factory is still floating over Type B's natural expo, and Type B just doing a good job of just preventing Leta from doing anything with that factory. He's just keeping an eye on it. Leta trying to maybe find somewhere where he can sneak that factory in and put a Vulture or something down, but Type B alert to the possibility of that. Now is taking to lair, and he really does need to do that. He wants to get his tech up and running. He wants to get perhaps Mutalisk out, or at the very least being able to have Lurker tech. Leta has only 3 Marines, so he's not able to put the kind of pressure he would like to be able to put on Type B this early on in the game. He's got his 3rd racks up, however, but remember, he's still on the 1 base only. Now Leta sending an SCV out to scout. Those 4 Hydralisks are going to intercept it and probably take it down, and Type B snipes the SCV. And I've got to say, I don't feel Leta is in a great position in this game right now. Now Leta chasing those Hydralist with his medic and marine group. Again, he's only got 5 marines to 3 medics so early on in the game, and that's not really a great position for a Terran player to be in. And you feel that Type B, this is Outsider, I feel, is a map that is difficult for a Terran player. We saw, again, if you guys haven't seen the MSL matches before, they will be spoiled for the MSL results, so please check them out before you watch this, specifically Jaedong versus Canada. So yeah, just about to spoil it now. If you haven't seen that before, what Canada did, obviously, the rush build, putting the pressure early on with the 8 racks, that works if you don't get scouted, but now the 3 Sunkens are down, so Leta succeeded in putting enough pressure to force his opponent to put a couple of Sunkens down. Meanwhile, he's starting to take his own natural expo, and 2-base Terran versus 2-base Zerg is obviously not ideal for the Zerg, and I really, and it looks like Type B is expanding to that min only, just at the 6 o'clock position. Type B just venturing out with those Hydralists, but he really can't do too much with them, because of Leta's medic and marine force just camped outside those Sunkens. And now he has got Lurkers, so he's got his lair up, he's got Lurkers up, and that's going to force Leta back. He's got 6 Lurkers morphing in, so it'll be interesting to see how Leta adapts to this, and exactly how he, whether he tries to snipe a few Lurkers before running back with his medic and marine force. He doesn't want to get caught with those Lurkers. Obviously, Type B is probably going to need a few Lings as well to support them. Now, the Spire going down for Type B. I'm not sure if Leta has managed to put down a starport and control tower yet, or a science facility. It looks like he is now starting up the starport, so he's only just now starting up the starport. Lurkers now out for Type B, and he's just trying to push Leta back, but he really needs to have a few Lings to support those Lurkers to help him push those Lurkers back. Leta doing a good job of microing those medic and marines. He doesn't want to get pushed back. What Type B wants to do is try and inch those Lurkers up and get them right outside Leta's natural expo. Now Leta's got that factory back in his base. He's getting the machine shop, but it'll still be a little while time before he can get that tank up, and he's just trying to delay the Zerg opponent from getting up there before he gets that tank up. Leta doing a good job of dealing damage to those Lurkers. He's making Type B pay to inch those Lurkers forward and forcing Type B to move those Lurkers forward very, very slowly. And again, Type B, if he had a group of Lings there, he would have been able to move those Lurkers forward a lot faster, and that's what really he needed in that sort of situation. But I guess he just didn't have the larvae or the economy to do it. Leta doing a good job of slowing him down. I still feel that Type B is in a stronger position in this map because he's going to be able to secure parts of the map. He's going to be able to secure that other expansion. Now he's got his 4 Lurkers that he's able to move out around and try and put a little bit of a flank on those Marines. And Leta, once again, is going to snipe on those Lurkers. Great job by Leta sniping one of Type B's Lurkers. Type B now reduced to 5 Lurkers from his initial 6 that he had built. Meanwhile, his lair is up, the Spire is going up. I don't see any anti-air for Leta. I don't see an engineering bay or a... now the science facility is being built, but I don't see an engineering bay. And Leta could find himself in a little bit of trouble here, because if Type B can get those Mutalists out, which I don't think Leta is anticipating, and I haven't seen a comsat go off, he hasn't got any turrets positioned to defend against this. He's relying... He's thinking that his opponent is going to primarily concentrate on Lurker Ling. He doesn't realize that his opponent is probably going to make a switch to Mutalisks, and those Mutalisks could wreak havoc with Leta's economy if Leta doesn't have any anti-air. Now, he will probably have that science vessel out. It's just a question of whether or not he'll be able to irradiate in time, whether he'll have irradiate research or have enough energy for irradiate on his science vessels when those Mutalisks pop around. He has got a decent-sized medic and marine force that he's continued to supplement, and yeah, as I was saying before the game really got going, that Type B does have a reputation as being being a strong Zerg player, although he is spending a lot of gas on those lurkers, so I guess he's not really in a position to get those Mutalisks out. So that's why I guess Leta's not too worried about the anti-air, because he knows his opponent is concentrating on getting lurkers. And of course he's going to rely on those lurkers to hold that third expansion, which he's now taking. Type B just now taking the third expansion. There is an SCV in there of Leta's that's going to see it. Now a couple of... And there is a dropship, and that's what you need against Zerg players. But if that dropship gets picked off, it's going to be absolutely horrible for Leta. The Scourge is coming in. Leta's loaded up that dropship, but those Scourges are not going to spot that dropship. Unfortunately for Type B, he just missed it by a centimeter. If he'd spotted it, it would have been huge. Now those Scourges are coming in. They're trying to chase that dropship down. That dropship might get taken out. Leta's going to have to drop a couple of Marines to intercept those Scourges. Type B, not with great Scourge micro, loses both of the Scourges, but he's at least bought himself some time because he's aware of what Leta's trying to do, and he should be able to get a couple of lurkers back to help defend his base from Leta coming in with that dropship. Now a couple more Scourges coming in. They're just going to slow Leta down that little bit much more, and he's not really going to be able to do anything effective, I fear, with that dropship. So Type B doing a good job of nullifying that, but he's also going to, if Leta, I feel, had gone for that other expo where he did have these SCV, that fledgling expo at that 9 o'clock base, he could have done a lot more damage. It would have been a lot more difficult for Type B to get reinforcements in there and to hold the front door as well, where he's got lurkers positioned. So Leta doing a good job of putting pressure, and the dropship goes down. Type B takes the dropship down with the Scourges, so great play by Type B. And Leta managed to drop some of the Marines and the medics, and he's managed to save 3 Marines and a medic in there, but they're just going to get cleaned out by